Aquarius, what's going on? Let me make sure that the cam is straight. Straight has gone away. Okay, Aquarius, so this is going to be your April 2019 reading with me, Kendrick, from Providence Tarot. So, Aquarius, as usual, you are unique and different. So I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot by Kim Kranz. Some cards popped out as I was shuffling the deck, so I decided to keep those flipped over from the start and just begin with those. I am going to be using the Ciccoli Oracle deck by Nicola Ciccoli, and I'm also going to be using the Runes deck, which is by, let's see, Lo Scarabeo. Okay. And the Romance Angels Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And I'm also going to be pulling one card from the Angel Power Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue. I believe all of them have been shuffled, and I pre-shuffled everything, right? And laid the cards out because I was going to do the reading, and then I got called to train some clients, so I had to run off. So it's been here. I've been marinating into the energy. I slept in the room with the cards laid out. I will be, however, shuffling the Archangel Power Tarot deck. So, the first card that popped out from the Runes deck for you is Ehwaz. And this is the rune that is in the shape of an M, right? And this talks about risk, or action, I mean, sorry. And it also talks about the risk behind the action, and it's talking about foreseeing what comes out of the action, from the action, right? Because for every action there is a reaction, and that's what Aries season is teaching us. Also, with these two and how you've been relating to your experience based on the sacrifices that you've been making, or it could be basing, looking at like how you've been vulnerable to the sacrifices that you've made within your experience. You got the Hanged Man, which is representative of Pisces, and it also is representative of a lower level of Venus energy. This is Neptune. So this is talking about dissolving boundaries and allowing yourself to see something that you wouldn't have been able to see before if you would have tried to just practically force a situation. It is a 12, but in this case, it's a Roman numeral 12. So it's an X, which is 10, which is talking about, that's the relation that Jupiter has with Pisces energy, right? And that is actually, your second house. So that's your second house of earned income and finances. So there are some things that have yet to be revealed to you based on, career things, right? And how you're going to expand yourself or broaden your horizons. What are your options? What are your choices? You may not know what your options or your choices are yet. So you're taking a back seat, or you're just hanging out, or you're just laying low until it sort of like comes into full formation for you, and you really have a great understanding or a complete understanding as to what to do moving forward, or what to decide, or what to feel, or how to go with your gut on an experience. Because this is really talking about needing more information before you make the jump. I'm sorry, there's a glare always on these cards. It's about needing more information before you make the jump, right? It's a bat hanging upside down, right, with the red eyes. So you're laser zoned in on something, and you're just going to be watching that. It's almost like a state of vigilance, right? That you've gotten the divine inspiration to come down off of that thing, right? So you're surrendering yourself to a process or to something, because it is mutable, and mutable talks about finishing out these processes. But this process for you is very subconscious. It's very watery as well. Your planetary rulers are Uranus, which is in Taurus right now. That's squaring your energy. I believe that Mars has just transited out of that sign, and it is now in your fifth house of Gemini, which is talking about communication. And it's also talking about, taking pride in, the way that you communicate certain things so that you actually will ultimately be able to create what you want to create. So there's something going on with communication because, 12 goes down to a 3 in the third house, right? We just talked about that, which is your fifth house. The third house in the zodiac wheel is Gemini, okay? And that's a fellow mutable sign to Pisces, which is your second house. So there's a square going on with your second house and with your fifth house. What's going on in your second house right now is that you've got Mercury in Pisces that's stationed retrograde, and we also have Venus that's there as well. I mean, not station retrograde, but stationary direct. So there's some things that are going, it's picking up. Something is picking up for you in your second house of earned income and finances. Maybe you're starting to see yourself generate something for yourself, or maybe you're sort of like bringing something into formation in terms of like security before you move forward on something, right? Because the third house, your third house being Aries, which is where the sun is right now, we're talking about moving forward on a situation, shining light to something, exposing something. Exposing vitality lies within your individuality by way of communicating, which your fifth house is talking about your vitality as well as your will and your creativity, which speaks to the third house, which is Aries, where the sun is. The sun rules your fifth house, which is Gemini, right? I mean, sorry. The sun does rule your fifth house, which is, ruled by Leo. But for you in this case, your fifth house is Gemini, okay? And that is where Mars is right now. I'm going very astrological with you guys right now, but I'm trying to get as much out as I can because I know a lot of you are very, there are many different realms of spirituality. Some people love numerology, some people love astrology. I happen to love both of them, and some people love tarot, and some people love oracle. Some people do palms, bones, all of that stuff. Anyway, I digress. So, yes, in terms of that, you're waiting for something. You're going to get the inspiration or the divine inspiration. You know, something in your will and something in your spirit and your subconscious, right, is telling you that the right time is coming. Okay? You might be holding off on something. You got the Four of Pentacles here, right? I'm going to get this lighting right, y'all, with these cards. You got the Four of Pentacles here, and this is just talking about being connected and understanding, a practical way of achieving stability for yourself. You've done it once, you can do it again. You know what I mean? Because the fours do have to do with the level of achievement, right? After the formation of the three, one person, it's the awareness, and then it's the options, right? The opposing energy, having to choose, having to make these choices, an overwhelming sense of what is actually needed, right? For you to not feel, vulnerable to something, yes? And then it's like the creation of what is needed out of the formation of what you've done too, right? What your understanding is. Now you're getting more out of the situation. You're understanding what works for you. You're understanding what you appreciate that works, what value, right? And then the fourth thing is bringing in the principle of the value, right? What's the point of the value? Security, foundations, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is related to the emperor. This is Mars energy. This is Capricorn energy, right? Or Aries energy and Capricorn energy. This is Sun in Capricorn, right? Capricorn is your 12th house. So this is saying as well that there's something going on in the subconscious. So this speaks to the Hanged Man here, right? And Capricorn and Pisces, they sextile each other. So that means that there's something going on that really is working right now, but Saturn and Pluto are in your 12th house, right? Karma and the planet of transformation, right? And fear, right? And breaking free of your fear and your weaknesses, understanding where your weaknesses lie, right? There may have been some time that went by for you to start to formalize or understand where your weaknesses are. So then that means you want to move forward on something. You want to reinvest, or you want to invest in something else, because the fours talk about investments. This could be you holding on to something, right, that has been working for you for a while. Sun in Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is in your 12th house, subconscious energy, blockage, right? Things that you made, that's a house of weakness as well, and sacrifice. So you might be learning a karmic lesson, and like something will have to be sacrificed for you, right, by way of your karma. And then also that is going to be pivotal in you transforming, right? Because Pluto is also there, and that's the ruler of Scorpio. So you can get something out of that, and I believe that Scorpio is your 10th house, right? So the planet that rules your 10th house is in your 12th house. So this has to do something with career, right? What industry you might be in, what you're doing with your money, how you're investing yourself. You know, you might be your greatest investment, right? So you might hold some qualities about yourself, you know, a value, right? If you don't have money, you have value. It's good to have one or the other, okay? But this is you being focused, aware of the commitment that it's going to have to take for you to let go of something. You're going to have to release something so that you can pick something up. Because right now you're sort of stuck because you don't want to let something go, right? You don't want to let go of the way that you've been doing something. You're holding on to it, right? Anyway, it has to do with money, finances, that type of thing. And your second house is lit up with Venus and Mercury right now. Venus loves being in the second house. She rules the second house of Taurus. But right now for you, that would be Pisces. Okay. Here's the moon in Taurus. So this is talking about commitments, right? And the awareness of what it's going to take to commit to a process that's going to offer you something, right? This is also a form of relief, right? It's a regenerative feeling as well. You're trying to regenerate something. You're trying to regenerate your finances. The AWA's card came up. This is challenge, right? You're challenged in making that, and you're challenged in being able to maybe save, or you're challenged in being able to like provide a level of security for yourself, right? Understanding if something isn't working anymore, because the six talks about harmony. It talks about cohesiveness as well, right? How the factors are playing out, you know. These are, you know, it's a sense of balance as well. You know, the sixes talk about completions too. A cycle is completing itself. This is Mercury. Mercury is in your second house. So there's a cycle that's completing itself in terms of like career and what you do, right? How you make your money, right? The effort that you put into, you know, it's like you understanding that your status quo might need to change. You know what I mean? Or you know, you've completed a cycle of just kind of like adhering to the status quo, because you know Taurus energy does talk about boundaries, right, and staying within those boundaries, which does talk about the status quo. And we can set on we can place our own boundaries on ourselves and stay within our own status quo, right? Because the Roman numeral 6 is a V and an I. So the V is talking about, you know, institutions, and then the I is talking about self. So it's talking about, you know, the awareness of how you play into the institution. There's the institution of self, and then there's the institution of business and career, right? And it's like how you see yourself as a business, right? You need to see yourself as a business. So sometimes businesses take losses, right? I don't know why I'm saying that, but maybe that's what the sacrifice is. Maybe you're taking a loss that you're just trying to wait for the right moment to release something. You know, because timing really is everything, you guys. It really is. So yeah, that's the challenge. You receiving some money or you giving out some money. Maybe you guys are getting tax money, or maybe you owe more taxes than you would have liked to give out. Okay, so this card is talking about taking a risk. You know what I mean? Action. If you look at it, this person knows something, right? They know something, and it's really deep. Okay, it's a deep understanding of something, right? And it's three. So this is talking about something coming into formation, right? Many different angles of a situation. And then this horse here, this person on the horse wants to jump, and if you notice, it has wings. So it's kind of like you want something so badly because you know that it's going to work out for you, but it's your fear, right? 12th house, which is Capricorn for you, which you just got two earth cards. You did get Sun in Capricorn, right? So that's shining light onto you having some fears in terms of transforming yourself and making a giant leap of faith, really, you know, and just trusting in, you know, your own will and your own, you know, need for the change, right? No one can literally fly, but it's saying that you will make it to the other side. You know what I mean? Because you have no other choice but to change, right? Nobody's going to take your hand and take you over there very easily and gently. You know what I mean? You don't have anyone, you know, mothering you through this experience. It really is yours. So you have to make your decisions for yourself, right? That's the challenge. You don't have anyone mothering you through this experience. And the moon, okay, that's the mother. Taurus is the mother that provides security, right? So you don't have a mom providing you security for this. This is all you. That's why the sun in Capricorn is your first card, and the challenge is that of the mom, right? Because the sun is of the self, and the moon is of the mother and where you come from. Your fourth house, what is that? If it's Leo, no. If your fourth house is if your fifth house is Gemini ruled by Leo, then your fourth house is Taurus. Okay, so we're talking about Taurus. Fourth house, your family kind of like teaches you to believe who you are as a person, right? And what you're capable of, right? But you have to figure out for yourself, yes, baby, what you are capable of, right? You can't just rely on other people in your life to tell you what you're capable of based off what you've shown them. Because what you've shown them isn't everything that you will show, yourself. Okay? Right? There's more for you to do. Don't just stay stuck in something that you've been doing that other people are doing too, because that's the status quo. And you could be staying in the status quo of what your family has set out for you or has just basically set. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they just kind of like follow the same path that their family followed. And then some people break out of that. You're an Aquarius. Okay? So break out of that you thought was going to be the only way. But then really think about it. When you invest in something, how far do you feel like the investment is going to take you? You know what I mean? You never really know. So when you feel like you've spent enough time, or you've spent enough effort, or you've spent enough energy, or you've spent enough focus, right? Producing something, making something, creating something, if it's been created and you know what it turns out every time, then maybe it is time to move on. Maybe it is time to try something new. Maybe it is time to be different. And I feel like you're waiting for that. Mercury and Virgo. Okay, so let's turn over the rest of your cards. Not all of them, but some. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. We're listening to William Orbit right now, Aquarius. So, Aquarius, in your past, you have the Three of Wands, which is the sun in Aries, which is where it is right now, darling. And that is your third house, right? So, and it's a three. So it's talking about creativity and formation, forming something out of that creativity. But then it talks about expression. What are you expressing? You have to express through doing, right? And you have to express to yourself what it is that you want to do, what it is, right? You have to express to yourself, hola, that come into formation for you, something playing out, understanding where the abundance lies. It's within you. Yes, seeing all of those possibilities. This is multiplicity, right? You can try many things, you can do many things. Yeah, and this is also a form of completion. I talked about completion at the beginning of this, right? And this is Aries energy. It's talking about taking risk. It's talking about action, which relates to the Iwas card from the runes deck, right? Being fearless. This is about you being fearless, Aquarius, right? Look at that three. Look at this three. Multiplicity. Coming into formation. Something is done, right? You can't go back. It is what it is. You got to put the energy out there, right? You did. You may have put the energy out there already and you're waiting for it to come back to you. Because this Three of Wands is talking about now that, the awareness of what you want to do, choosing to do that, and then that making something happen. That's the third wand, right? And then when that comes back and you get the confirmation, right, and what you meant to do, another four, that's bringing in stability of the idea that you had in the first place. Yeah, no, it really is something. The three is saying that, I've expressed that I wanted to be something. I've expressed something by action, right? This could have been you declaring something in the past, saying something, trying to prove something through yourself by way of communicating it to someone, telling someone about a bold plan that you might have, right? It could also even have to do with children, and it's communicating with children, conversations possibly for some of you guys who have kids out there, that type of thing. Okay, so you also, in the sun position, you have the Five of Pentacles, which is Mercury and Taurus. So more Gemini energy, more issues with committing to something that you feel like you'd like to do, that has to do with, like consistency and money and practical matters. This is almost like you believing that you can't do something, right? Almost like thinking that something isn't possible, right? Thinking that you can't produce something, or thinking that you can't manifest something, almost feeling like, all is lost, or, things are crumbling down, that type of thing. It's like, what are you committed to? Are you committed to the feeling, or are you committed to the idea, because it's Mercury, that like if things seemingly aren't working out, that like then it's time to give up? No. The sun, this is saying that you're thinking about giving up on something, right? Because it's the sun, the awareness of the thought patterns, right? Mercury, and what you're communicating to yourself in your mind, of the conflict of, the financial matters, or what you're invested in. And it talks about work as well. It's you thinking about, just you know what work means to you. And Mercury and Taurus. Yeah, definitely boundary issues. This could be your body. You could be thinking about your physical body as well. Some of you guys, whatever it is, it's definitely talking about trying to figure something out, and understanding that, there might be a better way. You know what I mean? You have to ask for help in certain situations, or you have to look for help. Communicate what it is that you need, right? For your own security, because I then at least you'll understand what really is happening, right? Because the sun position is the 5 of Pentacles, and then as the challenge, the immediate influence is the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, this is Mercury in Taurus, and this is Moon in Taurus. Mercury is talking about being logical about this hardship that you're experiencing, and knowing what to do about it, right. You feel like it's not getting better, because though even though the rose is here, and it's raining on it, it still feels like it's dying. This is out in the cold, right? Out in the rain, you know, feeling like no one understands your situation, right? But it's saying like it's not really that way. It's not that no one understands your situation. You just have to, express the situation, or talk about the situation to someone that you trust. You know what I mean? Someone that you can confide in, because that's what this is also talking about. Because the fives talk about mentorship. Like I said, it does talk about status quo as well. You might be feeling like if you communicate something to someone, Aquarius, then they might judge you, right? Because it's Taurus, or something like that. And it's a 5, so it has to do with like, this is a heartfelt thing, right? It has to do with, you feeling passionately about a situation. You might just be feeling sorry for yourself, unfortunately. Um, or it could be like a pride issue, or an ego issue, that type of thing. Or it might even have to do with, what am I thinking of? Your will and your creativity. It might be feeling like a little bit dulled, right? What you're able to make or create for you might be feeling like it's a little bit dulled, or there might be a work situation that you feel like is played out, or something like that. um, or an investment situation, right? Something like that. So Aquarius, in your moon position, this is actually quite good. You have the 10 of Pentacles, right? And even though it looks like 9 Pentacles, there's a 10 Pentacles on the center pentacle here, right? Look at those colors. So the 10 of Pentacles is talking about everything working out, things coming into full formation, right? It talks about opportunity, and it's talking about risk as well, because the tens are related to Jupiter, which is also talking about new beginnings and, completion. Completions, and then the new beginnings that come from the completion, right? Because I'm talking about action and reaction, right? With this Venus energy here, and the Sun and Aries energy, right? Um, Aries being the action, or Mars being the action, and Venus being the reaction, right? Relating. Um, so the moon position is really talking about cycles completing, and your body, your physical body, what you put into your body as well. You guys could be really thinking about what you're putting into your body. You could be changing what you're putting into your body. You could be going on a new, like not a diet, but you could be changing your habits, because this is Mercury in Virgo, right? Ten of Pentacles, and it's talking about thinking about how you can change your habits, your daily habits, or your daily routine, right? How you can stay motivated within that routine of changing the habits that might have to do with money, finances, or physical, substance, right? That type of thing, processing things, because your body processes things. You could even be thinking that you need to drink more water. I've been drinking tons of coconut water, you guys. Um, and the tens do have to do with, things becoming like fully apparent to you, so something has completed, something is completing, and this is great because it's coming to its full formation, and it's showing you that when something completes and something begins, that there's always a new beginning, there's always another side to a situation, or there's always a new opportunity, or there's always something that you haven't experienced or that you haven't done that you can look at doing, right? It's wonderful. I love this. The moon is talking about, things shifting, right? Energy shifts, right? For sure. Things happen all the time. You're adapting to some changes that have happened, right? You're adapting to like how you have evolved within a process that has brought you to this great understanding of what you're producing, what you're making, what you're building, right? Your day to day. You're understanding like how your day to day plays into your overall future. Yeah. You're making plans. Yeah, for sure. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I love it. Wow, you guys, hold on. My settings thing is on my phone, and I'm like, I can't see what you guys are doing. Okay. If you guys could like the video, I would love that. So the moon position always relates to the anxieties, okay? Okay. And in the moon position, you have the Ten of Pentacles. And I was talking about Jupiter and the Wheel of Fortune and all that stuff. And sometimes I'm just reading the cards. I'm not even looking at the spread. So I haven't this is really my first time seeing the cards and going through them. In the anxieties, you have the Wheel of Fortune. And that really goes into this moon position. It's like evolution, it's phases. What are you closing out? You have some anxieties and like a risk, right? Risk and opportunity, right? The action. You feel like things might get a little bit out of control. You want to keep things under control in terms of finances, right? And what you're able to probably provide for your family or provide for yourself, right? Because the 10 is kind of like family, especially the 10 of Pentacles. And then, the 10, 1 and 0, 1, that's the self. So, I was talking about that in the beginning of the reading, like where you come from and how you identify with where you come from, but then how you also identify with where you're going. And where you're going really is based on who you are, right? So, who are you? What are you doing? This talks about philosophies too. Your philosophies might be different than your family's, right? Many of your philosophies may be different from your family or may be different from your elders, because the Mercury and Virgo energy is talking about an elder or like that mature energy and how that thought process plays out. It's like college, you get married after college, you get a job, you have babies, that type of thing. You know what I mean? And Virgo energy is really it's Earth energy. Earth energy really does have to do with some status quo stuff, and it starts with Taurus. Taurus introduces status quo, and you have that right here. You know what I mean? And Taurus is your fourth house, right? Fourth house is home and family, status quo, right? Foundations. Then it's also, like creating boundaries. Your status quo creates boundaries for you, right? So then you have to get the spirit, first of all, the thought, the inclination, the inspiration to even want to identify with like questioning, what if I stepped outside of this status quo? What would that mean? What would I get out of this? Six of Pentacles, right? It's usually, this is you stepping outside of the status quo, and this is what the universe does when you do that. Here's all that's, oh my gosh, you never even knew, right? You would receive that, right? So it's understanding that there is something on the other side to be experienced for you that could also bring you a sense of substantial meaning in your life, right? Everything that you've already experienced isn't all that you were meant to experience, or you would be, you know what I mean? Hello, do more, be more. It could be talking about travel too. You guys might be wanting to travel for work. Maybe your routine has changed. Maybe your daily routine has changed and you're just trying to get a sense of how to get used to that. You know what I mean? Get used to like just the fluctuations, like the time changes, the schedule changing. You know what I mean? Being on point, on your toes. Your schedule as a mother, some of you, is keeping you on your toes. For sure. Those moms out there. With the family, all over the place, right? You can't wait for the summer. Okay? Right. But then, you want to do what you want to do too. Because the Wheel of Fortune talks about that's Jupiter energy. Jupiter is in Sagittarius right now, and that is your 11th house. And that's, you rule your 11th house. Okay? So definitely, wow, that's great. So you could take there's something working here for you with Jupiter being in your 11th house, right? Of Aquarius, or being in your 11th house of Sagittarius. And that's a fire energy, so that's sextile you. So you could really take advantage of this opportunity of Jupiter being there. Jupiter's going to be going retrograde uh, on April 10th, so you have about 8 days before that happens. But he's still there. It's okay. He's still going to be doing things, and that's probably why the anxieties are here, because you might feel a slowdown, right? So that's all that means. The stuff is still coming in, right? From that, and for you, it's going to be things coming into you, understanding your perspective and how you're adapting to your perspective changing. You know what I mean? And the universe is giving you all of these opportunities, right, to understand like the risk in like not changing, right, and not adapting, to the fluctuations and to the real fluctuations that are happening in your life. Time check. Okay, good. We're about halfway through. Um, but yeah, it's like you're having anxieties of the changes that have happened to you and around you, right? And you want to move forward. You have anxieties about how you're going to accelerate. Yeah, how to keep things interesting, right, for you, right? As above, so below. The tens do talk about receiving things from the universe and understanding how to use them as tools in life, right? Because everything is an opportunity when you're born. Bam, the life. Wow, here it is, the opportunity, right? Then you know what I mean? Then you can see, whoa, I have an opportunity now. I can see things. I know what I can like choose from, options, right? The senses, that type of thing. I mean, everything is an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity. Don't have anxieties about that. Some of you might even be depressed, and you're just identifying with that. You might be feeling like you're not as jovial as you used to be, or as optimistic or encouraging as you used to be, because you're so focused on like producing. What's the plan? What's the schedule? What's the plan? What are we doing? You guys, you know that? It's like you're really, I'm getting like, you know how like horses are. They a little bit anxious. So there's some anxieties going on in your money foundations. You know, what you're producing, what you're reasonably concluding for yourself. Substantially producing. Okay, in the Mars position, you got a Mars card, so that's good. But this is saying that you about to slay some shit. Because you got the Tower. In a Mars position. This is Mars. You could be dealing with Aries, you could be dealing with Scorpio, or you could be feeling very much like an Aries or a Scorpio right now. Okay? Because Aries, that Mars energy is bringing stuff in, bam, and destroying something. And that's your third house, Aries. And then you got Scorpio in your what? That's your 10th house of transformation, right? That's ruled by Mars as well, right? And that's talking about transformation and destruction through, like letting go and releasing things, or leaving things behind, right? And understanding that, like, holding on to something is really actually not going to show you how strong you are. Letting go of that thing is, because you've held on to it for this whole time. So you're not showing us any level of strength that we haven't already seen. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of like this moon position and this 10 of Pentacles being here, right? You're holding on to an emotional process that you've already evolved from, and that you've evolved from, because it's a 10. And then it's Mercury and Virgo. Virgo is, you know, the hermit. The 10 is expansion. So you're ready to expand from this experience that has completed itself, right? That you have evolved from and that you're now being emotionally affected by, right? But that's good because now you know that's the impetus for the change to happen. Destroying that, you know, overwhelming sense of the commitment that it's going to take for you to identify with yourself in this situation. Take other people out of the scenario. Okay, I know you're an air sign, Aquarius. Take other people out of the scenario and really think about you, right? Really think about you. You got the Four of Pentacles here. That's Aries energy, Emperor energy. That's you. You got the 10 of Pentacles here, which is Virgo energy, right? Which is talking about being of service to yourself. The moon position in this reading has that 10 of Pentacles here. The moon is, you know, Cancer, the chariot. So it's like, you know, moving forward. Because evolution is always moving forward. You're constantly evolving. Even though we've already seen all of the cycles of the moon, we don't know which side we're looking at or which angle we're looking at from which side at which time. Are we? Is it above us? Is it under? You know what I mean? So that shit is always changing. So you need to be. You just need to let yourself evolve. Because then, at least if you're evolving, then you're moving forward. You know what I mean? Just because you're doing something, you're processing something constantly, doesn't mean that you're moving forward. You're just processing the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? But if you want to do something different, you're definitely going to have to identify with the risk that is involved with the opportunity to move forward. And you better be grateful because it's like you could not have the opportunity to move forward. You know what I mean? Some people don't have much opportunity. Hello. Some people don't have any. They have an opportunity within a window of time and then it's over. And if they don't take advantage of it, you're done. Right? Child time in prisons, you don't eat, you ain't eating. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Train leaves at 5:15, you get there at 5:17. Damn. You know what I mean? So you really need to jump on when it's time to jump on, and you need to jump off when it's time to jump off. Right? Knowing when to do that. Don't have anxieties about it. You know, leap of faith. The tens really do talk about leaps of faith. This is definitely a leap of faith, right? And if not, then it's going to come in and it's going to change your identity by destroying something for you. Do you want that? Or do you want to be the person in the power to destroy it, to change it? This is talking about foundations as well and rebuilding those foundations. It's talking about oppression as well. You know, your identity has been oppressed by this experience of you not feeling like you have any options to take advantage of opportunity, or you don't have the, you know, the chance. I don't know what it is for some of y'all. Some of y'all are just waiting for the next opportunity. You know, there could be a fight. There could be a work situation that might be ending for you soon, you know, a temporary work situation, and that's what you understand. That could be the tower, you know, and that could be the challenge of the Six of Pentacles being here and the immediate influence being like, well, that money is not going to be coming in the way that it has been. So I'm going to really start saving a little bit more. I'm going to be thinking a little bit more about what I'm spending, right? Mercury and Taurus, right? Five of Pentacles, thinking a little bit more about what I'm spending, right? Ten of Pentacles, right? Having a plan about the finances. Okay, I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of everything because this is a general reading. Okay. Um, in your Venus position, y'all got some Aries energy up in here. Okay, so y'all really are geared up. Y'all are energized. Y'all feel the gas. The gas is getting hot. Okay, in the tank. Okay. We got the Emperor. Okay, another four. I was talking about the Emperor the whole time. Right here. This is fierce too, man. This is real nice. I like this. Because in the Mars position, destruction, this is so amazing, you guys. If you could see the spread, I can't move the camera, but I'll show you the two cards that I'm looking at right now, okay? And I'll put them in the place that I'm seeing them. So I'm seeing the Tower card on my left, which this is your left on my right. And then I'm seeing this card. So look at this, bitch. Sorry, not to call you guys that, but the tower comes in and it destroys this foundation. And what happens after that in the Venus? How you're relating to this experience, bringing more harmony, more balance, more pleasure into your life, allowing you to see what's working for you, what's going to bring you the more abundance, right? Bam, whole new foundation. And look at the sky. Clear, pure white, right? Bam, electrifying. This is you. This is lightning. This is you, honey. Ciao. And here you are, coming out of it, right? That's pretty fierce. The Emperor is talking about declarations, right? And the Tower could be you making that declaration, right? Identifying with a certain sense of self, right? You know what I mean? It's that third house too. So it's talking, Aries is that third house. So you're gonna say something, you're gonna communicate something to someone, something. This could be information that you're projecting, right? From your audible, understanding that you are your greatest resource, like I said before, and you identifying with being committed to yourself, that's going to get you more out of life than you just identifying and being committed with someone else or to something else. I was thinking about that the other day, like maybe yesterday. I was like, damn, man, if you commit to yourself wholeheartedly, if you commit to yourself, you can't go no wrong. You can't go do no wrong, not do no wrong, but you can't go no wrong. Okay, could you guys like the video, please? I love ya. You're watching. I love you because of watching. Um, but yeah, this is you committing to yourself, making choices. There's something that you want. You being assertive, right? You being assertive within this experience of like how you're relating to other people, like that's around you. Like I said, it's you and your institution. Okay. The first card that came out for you guys was a 4, which is IV, me, the institution, and then a 6, VI, the institution, me, and then you got you know and then in the sun position, you got 5 of Pentacles, the institution. And what I think about myself as an institution, maybe within an institution that I'm in, right? Then you got the card of oppression in the Mars position, a foundation being changed for you, right? Fluctuations, adapting to the changes, because you got some mutable cards here. You got the Wheel of Fortune, right, which is talking about expansiveness, opportunity, and growth and luck, right? How are you restraining yourself? Also, not restraining yourself. Absolutely. Because you open with a card that talks about restraint. Because Mars talks about restraint as well as action and aggression. Then you got a 10 of Pentacles here, adapting as well, Jupiter energy, right? Relating to that Virgo energy of really making plans and making them real, right? And setting out to do just that, right? Because this is meticulousness, right? You've meticulously gone over the evolution of self, right? And it's your personality, because the moon represents a deep self. So it is your personality, where everything is rooted, where it comes from, home and family, right? That's where you come from, your beliefs, things that have happened to you that you've never really expressed to other people, right? Because the mother, the home and family position, the 4th house, that Cancer energy, right? Queen of Cups energy, that's a need to express. So there are things that happen to you, in your past that you actually do need to express. Okay? And it's going to take you understanding that you living your life to its fullest, and you doing you and being you and owning up to who you are, because that part of you is a part of you, but it's a part of who you are now. It's not who you were then. You know what I mean? Ooh. Y'all are evolving. And it makes sense because, like there's the 7 rays. We're in that 6th ray or something, and it's in Pisces, but we're at the very edge, and we're about to go into the age of Aquarius. We're going in there, and that's why y'all are like, y'all are picking up on this. Okay. And Venus was just in your sign, too, and it just left. And it's in the 2nd house now. So she's trying to bring more to you in your 2nd house. So whatever is happening to you right now, understand that Venus is trying to bring you more, right? Mercury is bringing a slowdown of your understanding of what's happening and how you're processing all the information, because there's a lot going on. We're in a mutable Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is still in a mutable sign. Mercury does not do well in Pisces anyway. You know what I mean? Pisces takes Mercury to a place where it's fucking drowning. Okay? Okay. He's just about to come back up to the surface. Okay? Thankfully, Jupiter. And now when Mercury gets up to that surface in Pisces, then Jupiter's gonna go retrograde, bitch. I gave you that luck. I let your ass survive the Pisces, Poseidon, my brother. Okay, I let you survive him. Right? Now that's the opportunity, surviving that. Now that you've come out of this place, you guys, I have cried so much. I cannot even tell you. I don't even know. I haven't counted. I didn't try to count. But you know, we're releasing things. We're letting things go. Emotional oppressment as well. You can be emotionally oppressed, right? Not being able to express something because you're just going about the day to day, right? Moon and Virgo, because this is a Virgo card in a moon position, and that moon Virgo energy is hard to deal with. You're repressing stuff. Oh no, just do this. Get this done. I don't want to think about that. Just do this. It should be like this, okay? What is that feeling? I don't know. What am I feeling? It's like that type of thing. Well, do this. Do this and you'll stop feeling stuff. No! But you guys, you know, that Virgo energy is beautiful too because it really is. It's like Pisces energy too, so it really is. So this is talking about being compassionate to yourself. Showing yourself compassion. Understanding how you evolve and how you've changed. You know? That cardinal energy is telling us to initiate new forms of ourselves. You're going to get pleasure out of that. Change is painful. It hurts. You know, that's why when a baby is born, honey, I was talking about that too just a second ago. I was watching a documentary on YouTube about, you know, the moments before a baby is born. And the baby's lungs are still filled with embryonic fluid. And then like when it comes out, it takes its first gasp and it's painful. But that's it breathing its first breath. Opportunity, expansion. That's expansion. That's a level of growth because it's traveling outward. Sagittal, Jupiter, right? Things have changed. Adapting to the change now, right? That baby's being born. And this is being pregnant with something, right? The threes are in the past. And Moon and Taurus could be talking about being pregnant with something too. Okay, for sure. Because the moon is, you know, Cancer. That's the most fertile sign, right? And Taurus is Venus. That's the Empress. She's pregnant. So the Moon and Taurus could definitely be saying you guys are pregnant with something, but you know, something's trying to give you something, right? But you're holding on. You're holding on to something. You got to set those wheels in motion, right? Even if it's just communication at first and the action is to follow later. You know, communicate. Get it out there. Because if you keep it in here, it's just going to eat at you. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like those beetles in The Mummy. You know, the beetles in The Mummy. When people like release them and they go inside their bodies and they eat them, you know, those are your thoughts and your feelings when you don't like let them out. Eating you alive. You know what I mean? Don't get eaten alive by yourself. What you doing letting stuff eat you alive? How you gonna eat yourself alive, child? That's painful. That's gotta be painful, literally and figuratively and metaphorically. Oh, you know what I mean? It's painful. Stop eating yourself alive. I don't think that's going to be the name of the video because that's a little dramatic, y'all. All right now, babies. Let me go ahead and shuffle these cards. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to pull the future cards next in this reading, but I just want to shuffle this one first. These cards are really big. My Sun card kept popping out of this deck, and it kind of like bent a little bit and I had to repair it. It's so weird. Oh, look. Okay, this is you guys. I'm going to stop shuffling now. That was it. I told you guys yesterday in the Leo reading, when this happens, that means that the deck is ready for me. It's like, okay, you've done enough. You've done enough. And we've been in the reading for a while, and these cards, they knew that they were Aquarius. I let them know. Um, so let's flip over these future cards. So in the past, you have the Three of Wands, waiting for something to happen, getting those trucks unloaded. Okay, follow Card ZB on Instagram, friend of mine. I did one of her podcast episodes. Check that out. But she took a picture of the Three of Wands the other day, and I was like, oh, instead of waiting for the ships to come in, because it was like that she was in a cab, and like she took the picture, maybe it was in Union Square or something like that, and there were all of these trucks unloading the goods, and I was like, yeah, it totally fits the card. So it's like you waiting for these trucks to open up and unload stuff, right? And this is the unloading of it as soon as you let go of something. You got some cargo that's really not precious. Unprecious cargo. That's a little dramatic too. These titles. I can't even remember them sometimes. They're just coming in, like the reading does. So yeah, and in the present, right, you're holding on to something, unprecious cargo. There's something that wants to give you something more, right? It's so crazy. You holding on to 4, okay, when they trying to give you 6. And in the future, Father of Wands, right? You better be that. You better be that. You better be that. Okay, Father of Wands, he knows exactly what to do with the energy and with the fire. This is you owning up, right? This is you definitely being prepared to take action, right? Because the Father of Wands, he's prepared to take action. Look at this cobra. Prepared to strike, right? So you definitely are going to make that strike. Okay, that's a 10 too. Strike. Very Wheel of Fortune. Bowling. Yeah. Knock down all the pins. Very sagittal too. Move. Roll the ball forward. So you're going to get that ball rolling forward, honey. You're going to strike. Ha-ha. And I don't think you're going to miss. I don't think you're going to miss. Because I feel like you have mustered up all of this energy and all of this strength, right? You don't have any 8s here. But you do have a 3. And 3 is a strong number, right? And that's great. It's wonderful. Because in the past, you've got the 3 of Wands, right? Bam, here it is, 3. Then we got the situation with you holding on to something and something wanting to come in and give you more than what you're holding on to. You're going to let that happen. That's a challenge. It's okay. You're going to take advantage of that opportunity. It's here. And then the 3 of Wands turning into the Father of Wands in the future? Okay, now. Right. Now he has the power. You see all these colors here that are within that understanding of where the opportunity lies, right? Now we're appropriating that understanding, right? That's going to give us result. Okay? And this is it right here. You see these colors? Those are the colors that are in here. Hello, Belize. Thank you for loving me and loving my channel, baby. So you got it. You got the magic stick. I'll show you magic, right? Magic. Oh. I don't really know that song. Where's Little Kim and 50 Cent when you need him? Okay, so yeah, Father of Wands, fixed fire energy. That's Leo energy too. So that's will, that's creativity. That's that Gemini energy we were talking about being your 5th house, right? Sun, moon, rising. Especially if you're an Aquarius rising, then it really is your 5th house. You know what I mean? Okay, so yeah, and this is fixed energy. So you definitely are like making things happen, transmuting things. That's what that fixed energy does. Transmutes it. Because it's like you don't want to really adapt to any changes. You're not really initiating anything because you're like, well, whatever I got, whatever I'm working with, that's what I'm working with. But it's saying step outside of that energy and definitely act, strike, do something. Okay? Some of you guys could be dealing with a person that is very passionate about you and what it is that you do. They might be very involved and interested in what you do. You know what I mean? Could be getting advice from them too. They could be giving you some good advice. You know what I mean? And it's not like, it's because this person has like achieved the level of something, or you respect what it is that they have done for themselves. So you're like, okay, how have you achieved that for yourself? What have you done for yourself that has gotten you that? Or like, how can you, just give me some inspiration from you, some spirited inspiration, right? That's going to actually like get my coals burning a little bit more. Tell me something. You know, that type of thing. That's going to change your perspective about your situation. Or your perspective may be changed, and that's why you're going to act. Because the fathers, they're ruled by air. You know what I mean? So that's very Aquarian, very Libra, very Gemini. You know what I mean? It's fixed, so it's Aquarian, right? So it's a greater understanding of what needs to take place. What's actually best, and it's not coming from a place of ego, right? And it's not shy either. It's not shy, and it's not egotistical. It just is, right? And that's what fixed signs, right? When you're in that high polarity, that high vibration, okay, really teaches something. Okay, so now let's look at your energy moving forward in the outcome. mm, I love it. Right? Your second house, we talked about it. Venus is there right now. In Pisces, we're going to have a full moon in Libra, like I said, on April 19th, 18th, 19th, depending on where you are in the world, right before we cross over into Taurus season, right? Which is the second house in the zodiac, okay? Two of Swords, making that choice, making that decision from the evolution that you've had. And this has to do with how you relate to an experience, and then understanding that your options have changed, probably, right? Because it's talking about changes, it's talking about initiating, right? Changes from understanding how things have changed, things have shifted, the options, right? The full moon at 0 degrees really showed something to you. It opened something up, and now the full moon at 29 degrees is going to close out something, a cycle for you, and how you relate to an experience that might have it to involve work, opportunities around work. Maybe you didn't make choices for yourself before in the past, right? But now you know you're going to do that. And this is going to bring some clarity and some truth to the situation for you, right? And it has to do with revealing something for yourself. And that's what I was saying, when you take that risk in making that choice, right? Yeah, because making choices and decisions is risky. You know what I mean? And there's going to be something on the other side of that. And you don't know what that other something is going to be, but at least you went for it, okay, Aquarius? You went for it. You know what I mean? And that's going to be good. And you're thinking about it. Okay? So now let's look at what's going on at the top of your reading, which is what you're going into, the energies that you're moving towards that you don't know yet. You know, this is a very futuristic card in this reading. Great. Beautiful. Followed by another Libra card. So you are really being fair to yourself. You're bringing more harmony to your experience. You're falling back, and you're understanding that certain situations that don't need you don't have to involve you anymore, right? And this is the awareness of what your new commitment to yourself is, right? That's going to bring more mental clarity to you, more mental stability. It's going to take some things off of your mind that have been on your mind for a while. You know what I mean? And it is being risky to pull back. You know what I mean? You might even be cutting down your circle of friends if you haven't. If you haven't done that, and if you already have, you may just be enjoying that circle of friends, or you know how you've made those changes, how you've asserted, how you've asserted moving forward and adapting to a new reality that you've placed there for yourself, for your own mental clarity, and it really does have to do with intuitive nature too. And the fours are kind of like very angelic, very angelic. The Four of Swords for sure, and the Four of Wands definitely. This is very spirited energy. Look at the Lamb, right? This is peace. This is solace. This is you coming out of this situation of worry and being, fearful of the changes that you want to see take place, right? Even though you have to make a conscious choice to do that, right? The new reality. Once you make that choice, honey, right? This is you being the deciding factor, right? And this is you making that decision, right? And then once you make that decision, you're going to be like, wow, that was a great decision I made. I'm so glad I did it. Thank you. You know? Absolutely. And Libra trines you. So that's saying that things are working there for you, right? Things are working. There's a harmonious energy that's coming, that's completing at the end of this reading, closing it out. Because there was some confusion in the beginning with the Hanged Man here, not knowing what to do. And I love that because you got the Hanged Man, right? And it's talking about, waiting for something, receiving something, waiting to receive something. And communication, right? Mercury energy, third house, understanding something, your level of understanding within a situation, and what that means for you in terms of what you can produce for yourself. You know what I mean? Getting rid of the old patterns. Okay, so I already read the AWAS card from the Runes Tarot deck. Now I'm going to read the card from actually the Chicoli Oracle deck from the top. This is talking about acceleration. Wow. Okay. So you see, look at her. Acceleration, moving forward, right? Being ready for anything at any moment, right? Because if the acceleration happens and you have a soft grip, then you're going to be, whoa, shaken, right? You're going to be taken aback a little bit, thrown back. But it's like if you get your grip about you, get a grip on the situation, right? Then you're going to be able to really like ride that wave of acceleration forward when it happens, right? But that has to do with you making a choice, being committed to making that choice, okay? Right? Creating more abundance for yourself, doing that, moving forward in life, evolving, changing, right? For sure. You want to be different, don't you? You're an Aquarius. Okay, so now I'm going to flip over the card from the Archangel Power Tarot deck. Y'all saw me shuffle these cards. David Bowie, you better reference him. Ta-da. Decision, baby. 15. You being tied to a situation that no longer serves you. You need to realize that you have been held back. Oppression. Didn't I talk about that? Mars, the tower, the oppression, destroying that feeling, that sense of oppression, by you identifying with, your own experience, not someone else's. This is you identifying with someone else's experience and you being held back by that, by letting somebody else tell you what to do. Okay? Release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. And the star card, your card, talks about confidence. A dream come true. Believe in yourself. The end of a difficult situation. Right? Releasing yourself from that which holds you back, making a choice to do that, right? Oppression, being held back, right? Identifying with yourself, being assertive, choosing you. And once you do that, once you release yourself from that which holds you back, no more oppression, right? No more Mars energy. Now you got Venus energy, right? And Jupiter energy, and Libra energy. Right? Like I said, you're going to be so glad that you took yourself out of that situation that didn't serve you anymore, or something that wasn't working for you anymore, or something that you feel like you were laboring through. For what reason? Right? What's the meaning behind this if I'm not getting anywhere? Because this is like you're not getting anywhere within an experience that you're having. Right? I'm having this experience. Wait, I'm not getting anywhere here. I'm having this experience. Wait, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm having this experience. I'm not getting. You're having an experience that you're not getting. I'm going to start my own business. I used to. Yes, you better start your own business, honey. That's what this is, too. This is talking about being your own boss. So releasing yourself from something that's holding you back so you can be the situations that's moving you forward. I talked about acceleration. Ooh, this is crazy. Releasing, right? Acceleration, moving forward. This is talking about action, definitely talking about moving forward in flight. I wish that I could give you a better view of what was going on here. That horse diving, jumping across. Set yourself free, girl. Let's look at what's going on in the Romance Angels Oracle deck for y'all. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. If you feel like you're going through this situation alone, Aquarius, you're not. And I know you guys can be feeling very lonely, right? Like you've been enduring this for a while on your own. And I kind of got that before, when I was meditating on your reading. When I meditate on readings, sometimes I smoke mug water. And then I'll listen to music, or I'll listen to like tones, or I'll just meditate over crystals or just silence or whatever. And I was just getting like boot camp or something, like camp, Like I was getting boot camp, like you were in some kind of boot camp on your own boot camp. You're putting yourself through boot camp, you know? I was seeing lunges like outside in the woods, you know? I mean, you know, just outside in nature. Um, So maybe nature has to do something with what you're doing, or maybe naturally something may be happening naturally, or maybe it's that like you're trying to gain more strength. I feel like you are trying to gain more strength to do something. And I did mention strength earlier in the reading, and I know I didn't get any cards that relate to that, but I did because I got the Father of Wands, and that's fixed fire, and that's Leo. So there's strength there, and Mars is definitely strength, you know, for Um, all right. So let's look at what was underneath. Let your friends help you, babe. Children. Your love life is being affected by children. So someone might have been childish about something in your relationship if you're not in it anymore, and that's why you ended that relationship. Those of you who are married, you know, you might be having issues with your children. You know, camp. That's probably what I was thinking about. Camp. Are you thinking about sending some of your kids to camp? Those who are old enough to go. Um, Maybe that could be a good thing because then it'll give you more time to work on something. Yes, this time you can set aside. If you know the kids are going to be at camp for 3 weeks, you know that's 3 weeks that you can really focus on the work that you want to do. But you really have to be committed to doing it then, right? Or getting the most of the work done then, or doing the most of your focus then, right? Because then it's going to open up those channels for you, right? And that's what Wheel of Fortune energy does, and that's what this also does, right? The mom, this is the moon position in this reading, but this is Mercury and Virgo. So the moon represents mom, and Mercury and Virgo is talking about plans, information, daily life. So that's the mom thinking about her daily life and how she's going to process something. Maybe in getting rid, not getting rid of the kids, but doing something with them, right? And the hanged man is 12. That's a 3. That's third house, Gemini, siblings, children. You got the 3 of Wands here, thinking about what you're going to do, right? I said, you know, the trucks being unloaded. That could be sending the trucks off, too, okay? With the kids in it. um, What's at the bottom of this one? Okay, August. This could be like you building something. You know, it's talking about effort, force, building something. What do they call it? A smith, a silversmith, that type of thing. You know, so you definitely are creating something. You're definitely putting something's in the works. This is a good reading. You know, you're definitely experiencing some destruction, and you're definitely experiencing, some conflict that you're going to get past. You're in the middle of it, but you just have to realize what it is that you're holding on to that you need to let go of so that you can receive more for yourself, right? And it's really you owning that power of letting go, because that's when you really show yourself what you're made of. Um, for sure. Adapt to the change. Let the changes happen. Let them encourage you. Let them inspire you. Move forward. Let the acceleration take you where you want to go, right? Don't be afraid of making that jump, taking that risk, taking action. That's what we have to do. We can't just sit around and not do anything. We got to take action, otherwise, nothing else will happen, you know? But once you make this choice to fall back from the things that are no longer serving you, that you're freeing yourself from, right? That you're gonna boost your confidence. But then you're gonna need to take a step back so you can sit in that energy of what your confidence being rebuilt is, right? Because this is mental clarity by way of foundations being created, right? In the mind. And the fours are very angelic and very kind of godly too, because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, y'all, this reading has gone. Okay, hour 9 minutes. Nothing has gone over too much. I love you guys. Follow me on Instagram, Providence Tarot. Also follow at NYC Kendrick NYC, and my food account, The Tongue Pop. I might be consolidating some, and I might get rid of one of them, and I think one of them I know. But that just has to do with timing and things, and if it doesn't work out that way, then I'm not getting rid of it. But, follow those accounts. Also, if you'd like to get a reading from me, I'll leave the information in the description box. Email me at providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com. I will be doing some love readings in the mid-month for each sign. I want to get through all of the signs monthlies, and then I'm going to make the love readings for the mid-month, and hopefully that will inspire you guys to take advantage of the special that I will be doing for love readings. But the details won't come until I'm going to be offering those readings. Okay. Love you. Thank you so much. Yes, I love you all. So yeah, follow me on Instagram. Say hello. And if you have, if you want to reach out and send me a GIF or GIF, or a meme or something, do that. I love that. Okay, you guys, have a great day. Aquarius.